Hello. Today's lesson is brought to you by cats.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, can I sit up? Here, does that help? There we go. All right.
Hello. Welcome to Rooted in the Word. We are following on the Rooted in the Word reading plan. We are in week 29. Week 29. Let's see. Let me flip to the right spot here. Today, we're going to talk about hate. Does Jesus tell me to hate people? Let's find out after this. Now, hate is a strong word, but I really dislike you. Shout out to all my millennial homies out there. But in Luke 14, towards the end here, starting in chapter 25, verse 25, chapter 14. Now, great crowds accompanied him, and he turned and said to them, "If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother, and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." Well, that's problematic. Thought we were supposed to love. Well, let's unpack that a little bit. Jesus is using hyperbole right here, where this is an instance where we don't always take the Bible literally. Shocker. And we're going to take it literarily. So this is a form of hyperbole right here. It echoes, if you remember back when we were reading Matthew, Matthew 10, 36 through 39. "And a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." So what this is really meaning is that we are to love Jesus so much that when we look at our relationship with our parents or with our children or with our spouse, it looks like hate. Our love for them is dwarfed in comparison by the love for Jesus. And then here in Luke, it goes on to talk about counting the cost. "For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he laid a foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, 'This man began to build and was not able to finish.'" So we are to count the cost. What do we mean by that? So we are to love Jesus so much that we are willing to lose everything. We are willing to lose our life. We are willing to lose our family. We are willing to lose our friends for the sake of Jesus. Because a lot of times, especially in the early church where they were under persecution, to follow Jesus meant being ostracized, meant being kicked out of your family, and it meant potentially losing your life, as Jesus did, as exhibited by the disciples, who all but one was martyred for their faith. So that's a tall order. We are to put Jesus above all, like he says in Matthew here. "Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me." And in America, or just in the West in general, for the most part, being a Christian is very easy. Yes, there's some cultural ostracization, ostracizing, whatever. That, Christians get made fun of, and that's okay. But we can't make fun of other religions or other people groups because that's racist. But Christians are A-okay. That's pretty much the extent of our persecution that we get, at least in America and in the West. But there are countries, there are places where it's illegal to be a Christian. It is a death sentence, or at least a prison sentence. And to those people, this passage means a lot more. And we have it easy here in the West, and we should make this passage kind of a little bit harder to wrap our heads around. That the stakes are high. We should be willing to lose everything for our love of Jesus. That's how dedicated we should be. With it being that easy here in America, it's hard to really know how dedicated you are without being tested. When the time comes, are you gonna stand up for your faith? Sometimes it's a little hard to tell. But yeah, that is kind of what stood out to me this week. Why did Jesus tell us to hate? It's a little more complicated than that. And that's just another reminder where when we're reading the Bible, yes, we see the Bible as truth, and it says what it says, but not everything is supposed to be taken literally. And we also have to look at the context. Context is key with everything in here, and don't take things out of context because that can give the wrong message and not the actual truth. But yeah, I think that is where I'm going to leave you for this week. As always, go out there, love God, love people. Have a good day.